Hello, my name is Jeff. This is 2A Self-Defense Law. If you have noticed, I'm going to be dropping the castle tutelage. So if you look at my YouTube page, it's going to be 2A Self-Defense Law now, and I am dropping the castle tutelage part. We've been working on provoking, brandishing. USCCA, CCW Safe has indicated that the most problems that they have with their members are doing wrong is brandishing. Andrew Branca has also indicated that the majority of his cases have to do with brandishing. So I have always, the last 6 months, has been harping about brandishing, provoking, prolonging the fight. This Wednesday I released a video because the source went down, and I wanted to get it out there before if there was any problems with the source at all. So I used Active Self-Protection's video and went around some of what he was saying. If you haven't seen last Wednesday's video, go see it before you go on here. The reason why I am doing this part of the video is simple. All right, we have ordinary force and we have deadly force. Ordinary force, there's a spectrum of different forces that you have in there. You have body language, you have verbal, and then you have the physical force itself. And within physical force, you have another spectrum. Obviously, a poke in the chest is going to be much different than a back slap to the face. So there's going to be a spectrum of forces there also. When you're watching this video, and if you haven't seen the entire thing, go to Active Self-Protection or go to my video last week and view it first before you go. These two get into a road rage incident. The guy with the gun right in front of you, and I find it extraordinarily interesting that he is trying to get this guy to do something bad in front of the camera. You have to watch out for those type of people who try to provoke you and also get you to do something stupid on camera. But little does he know is he is the idiot. Well, they're both idiots. But what is happening here? Both are in a verbal confrontation. So you can defend yourself, but at this point, you can't escalate it, but at this point you can only verbalize it. And I'm not exactly sure, where is my cursor? All right, let's keep on going.
Okay, my friend.
See, now you see his the gun came out. Okay, when you're dealing with this, I want to be very specific. Let's not be in this guy's mind. Let's be in this guy's mind. Yes, he's coming after him saying, "Would you call me? Would you call me?" Well, that is a verbal confrontation. And what does he do? This guy, his name's Frank, he pulled out his gun. Why? Why did he pull out his gun? Well, Active Self-Protection wants to believe that you can't pull out your gun because there's a disparity of force, because this guy in the red hat is kind of tall, and this guy is Napoleon, 5'2", or whatever you want to call. I want to be specific here. Just because there is a disparity in weight, size, whatever, doesn't mean that it is a disparity that has to have the action of the gun now. You still have to have the AOJ triad. The AOJ triad is a tried and true thing. The ability, opportunity, and jeopardy. Does this person have the immediate threat of death or great bodily harm right now? With the guys, I don't know if his hands are in the pocket or whatever, if that is the furtive movement that he saw, we'll never know. But his jeopardy isn't there. He hasn't said, "I'm going to beat your face in, I'm going to, rape your daughter," or whatever the threat is being. He hasn't threatened. All he is saying is, "What did you call me?" Because what this guy did here is, while he was walking by, we called him an idiot, and then he positioned himself right in front of the camera. Okay? Now let's go back into this guy's head. If you were a person who was concealed carrying and you were in a verbal altercation, and the guy brought his gun out for whatever purpose, and my thinking is the reason he did it was to intimidate the guy in the hat. But what did he just do? Frank, the little guy, I think his last name is Fink too. Frank Fink, the little guy, pulled out his gun to intimidate. What did he do? In my mind, he just entered deadly force. If this guy in the red hat right here had a gun, do you think he would be justified to draw at him at this point? He may have not gotten there because of the gun had already been out, but you are introducing a deadly weapon in an ordinary force fight. At what point? And don't tell me at this point that there's a disparity of force because the guy's taller. Your narrative has to be much better than that. You can't do that. But are you brandishing? Does that automatically become deadly force? That is there's always two sides to the coin here, people. You're going to have your narrative, and you're going to have the other person's narrative. What is your narrative going to be if you pull out the gun to intimidate somebody? They thought that you were going to shoot them, and then they pulled out their gun because they were using the self-defense laws in their mind. What is your narrative going to be at this point? So brandishing, I don't care if it is legal in your state. Your brandishing doesn't mean that you have to be wiggling it around in a ill-proper manner. It could be, what was your intent of that gun being out? Remember, brandishing isn't a big deal in a lot of states. It could be a misdemeanor. But if your intent was to display the firearm in force, that could be an aggravated assault. Even if your intent wasn't to be an aggravated assault, it could be in the other guy's mind that you were trying to assault him or assault that person with deadly force. Who's going to be right? Who's going to be in the gray area? But these people, again, CCW Safe is saying this. The majority of their problems that they're having with their membership is brandishing. Andrew Branca is saying the same thing. I just heard him in an interview 3 or 4 weeks ago. He says the majority of his business is because of brandishing issues. People, only take that gun out when you need to fire a round off. Don't take it out to intimidate. We talked about this. Smith, he was at a church. A belligerent man came down, sat in the church. People are trying to get him out. The pastor said, everyone back away. Smith didn't think, another short guy, didn't think that enough was being done, so he came over there, all right, trying to get him out, showed him a fake CCW badge. The guy said, that's fake. Smith got offended with it, showed him the gun. This is the thing that happened. After he showed him the gun, what did that belligerent guy do? Punch Smith in the head. Do you think that the belligerent guy was justified in pointing and punching Smith in the head after being shown a gun? I do. I think that was self-defense. I think that was the proper self-defense. Someone showing me a gun, me popping somebody. That's what I'm trying to achieve here, right? In the red guy's hat, if he has thought that this Frank character brought the gun out to use deadly force, is he justified in using deadly force himself? Do you really want to be on that end? My name is Jeff. This is 2A Self-Defense Law. I hope this helped.